In regards to diversity, there needs to be diversification within the groups of reporting officers to the scenes of incidents. I'm not saying one race or nationality is better than the other, but I feel as though it will help bridge cultural gaps that are encountered when people of different races and nationalities have to communicate and interact with one another. I would like to think my son's incident was gone a lot different if it had been an African American at the scene that he could have related to. I live in a predominantly black neighborhood, and all the officers that responded to that call were Caucasian. My son had no one there in an authoritative position at the scene at that moment that he could identify with. Proper training. There's a demographic of young men between the ages of 15 and 25 that don't view law enforcement officers as friends. There has long been a saying that I've heard numerous times: black people run from the police, white people run to the police. Why African Americans have this feeling just goes off past experiences in history, I guess. I can't say. On the night in question, my son, who at that point had committed no crime and had no one on the scene to identify with, panicked and ran from officers. Do I condone him running from officers? No, I don't. Am I mad at my son for running from officers? No, I'm not. I can understand. I'm 40. And I get nervous when I see blue lights come up behind me. Even if I haven't done anything, I make sure my seatbelt on, I make sure my hands right. You get nervous. Officers need to be mindful of the size and age of questionable law offenders and use the proper amount of force when dealing with these young offenders. I understand when the adrenaline is pumping, it's a different story. But I am assuming that these officers are trained. I can't imagine what they go through on a daily basis with the type of career they have. But once you put your badge on, I am going to hold you accountable for your actions as a taxpaying citizen. His movements could have been through seizure activity. He is an epileptic. But once the dust settles, after you hit someone upside their head, ask them if they require any medical attention. Or if not, do the humane thing and call for medical attention. A mother shouldn't have to plead for it on the scene. Education. Just as we educate our youth at home about drugs and other things, and outside the home with the DARE program that Augusta, Richmond County already has in set, we need to try to teach these young adults the proper rapport with police officers, how to act when they encounter a police officer. I'm a single parent, and I'm raising 2 males, but I'm a female. I'm a girl raising a boy. So therefore, I don't know what boys, especially black males, have to encounter. So therefore, outside help would be appreciated. The last thing is respect. The youth have to respect the badge because the badge is a symbol of authority that deserves to be respected. The person wearing that badge also has to have respect for that person and not abuse that authority. There's going to have to be mutual respect with these encounters. I did not receive mutual respect when I spoke with the officers in question. But I was very grateful for their sergeant that was on the scene. He apologized for the disrespect that I had encountered, and he then asked his deputy to come back and speak to me in a civil tone, which happened. I am sure that the officers are taught this and told this, but there needs to be something in place to ensure that respect is happening on these encounters. Send us surveys after you have an encounter with the deputy. I'm not saying the criminals that are charged or locked up, don't send them a survey because, of course, you're going to get a biased survey. But send us surveys. Ask us, how our services went. I get surveys all the time. I get my oil changed. They send me a survey. How was my service? Why not ask these public servants to provide taxpayers with feedback of how they're acting when they're patrolling? Doesn't anyone want feedback on their employees? We are in a technological age. It wouldn't even require paper, a simple email address. This would reduce the cost of such a program. I feel as though the officer saw me in a t-shirt and sweats, saw the neighborhood I lived in, saw my son with dreads and gym shorts, and assumed we were deacons. I feel as though this is why he communicated with me with such distasteful and a lack of respect that he has. I would like to take this moment to thank you for your time and the opportunity of presenting my suggestions to this panel.
Ms. James.